Okay, welcome everybody to a something special. Really, I've never started a series before. It's something I always wanted to start. I think since I started the Chosen One Media journey, so I got the opportunity to do that now. Through one of I wouldn't say one of my friends, but one of the people that I've influential people that I've met since I moved from Paul or the Western Cape to Mafeking in the Northwest. So yeah, it's I just thank him for that opportunity. And obviously uh I wouldn't take on an opportunity or a series if it wasn't worth a while, because I feel that the viewers deserve the best no matter what. So yeah, stay tuned for the for the end project and the journey. I'm not sure how often we will post about this project. It obviously depends. It would be nice to have a weekly thing, but like I said, it's the first project, and we'll see how it goes. So just after this, I'll obviously introduce um Uncle Mo to you guys, and we'll take it from there. All right, everybody. So the man that I've been talking about before this is Uncle Mo. Like I said, I met him here in the Northwest, and like I said, very influential. I learned quite a few things from Uncle Mo since I've been here. So um, once again, thank you for allowing me to do this series, the first of the series. So um, yeah, you can just introduce yourself to everybody, and for those that don't know you,
Okay.
obviously from outside of the Northwest.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, hi guys. My name's Mo. People call me Uncle Mo. Well,
Yeah.
I don't mind. But in any case, I've been in the, what should I say, refurbishing and panel beating game since I can remember. Let's say just after I finished school. Actually, my first job was in radio with broadcasting at Radio Pop. That didn't last long because they don't work on cars. They don't work on cars. So yeah, I started working on cars, and yeah, I am who I am. I have a few world records in sound. I've built a few nice vehicles that went to Campfest. Yeah, we do what we can.
Okay, thanks for that introduction, Uncle Ma. I forgot to leave out that you are a record holder as well. So like I said, this is the first project that you are going to do. I'm obviously going to be there documenting with you and seeing how I cannot get in the way, basically. But you have you obviously not gonna work on this project by yourself.
No,
You're gonna
I'm
have
not. I'm not.
people assisting you as well. But
Yes.
we'll get into that as the car goes from here to the workshop, basically. Um, so can you just tell the viewers what car we are sitting in at the moment? I don't know if they can see. For those of you that know,
Okay,
I don't know.
okay. Guys, this is an old, mm, late, well, say 90s, early 2000. I'd say 90s. Mazda Sting, Mazda 323 Sting, a sedan. And this car has been through a bit, through a bit. It's the owner's first car. It was his mom's car, and it became his first car. He has other cars, but his heart lies in this car. And currently, the owner of the car, Cornelius, is working in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
And we are in Mafeking in the Northwest in South Africa. And Cornelius heard about me through the grapevine or wherever, and he decided he wants me to do this job this time, because people have tried to work on this car before, and it's shite. I'm sorry, it's shite. So yeah, we like to create a donut out of the shite right now.
So obviously we're gonna show them, like, in a bit, obviously after we have this conversation, what the car looks like on the inside. So I remember we had a conversation before this, so I just want to tell the viewers as well, or anybody that's watching this, what are the main things that's going to be changed, replaced, yeah. Just something on that.
Dude, look, it's what I call a bumper to bumper,
Okay.
top to bottom resto. So basically everything that's broken is going to be changed.
All right.
Broken or not broken, even if
Yeah.
it's old.
Yeah.
So headlamps, tail lamps, bumpers, bumper beads, marker lamps, like tutti.
Yeah.
Interior is going to be done. Exterior is going to be done. Exhaust is going to be done. Undercarriage is going to be done. Air suspension is going to be done.
Okay.
Sound, lighting, what, full
Yeah.
full show car
Okay, so this car is gonna be restored into a full show build.
into a full
Okay.
show build.
That's if you okay, obviously they're going to see the condition of the car at the moment. You'll see that it's not just it won't be an overnight job. It will take
No,
a very long time. I
No.
don't think you have a time frame for this.
well, my client's going to be here in a year.
Okay, so you're gonna take more or less, not take more or less, but you have at least.
I have a year to my disposal,
Okay.
but I think I should use, hopefully, if lightning doesn't strike me or
Yeah,
anything, 6 to 7 months.
Okay, 6 to 7 months.
Mhm.
Like I said, I don't know anything about restoration. So, like I said, I learned quite a lot from how to do things, and it's even with the smallest things. Like yesterday, you did the roof lining, and previously with Carlos's cheetah as well. Road to 160, by the way. So yeah, I think that if there's any questions that the viewers have, I think they would ask themselves. Is there anything that you think that we need to mention to those watching this?
Look, the main thing we should mention is that I'm definitely not going to be working on this car alone,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
If you're going to be around there with your camera, definitely you're going to be working as well, dude.
No doubt.
Yeah. So this is going to be like a group project. A couple of the Team Beast guys,
Okay.
because we will be at the workshop. So obviously
Yes,
Carlos
yes.
is definitely going to
Yeah.
be involved, and then a couple of whoever's around in
Yes,
the
yes,
workshop
yes, yes.
will have their hands on this
Yeah.
car. They will have
Yeah.
their hands on this car because I promise you in the next few weeks there's going to be nothing left of this car.
Yeah.
It's going to be like an empty shell.
Yeah.
With no panels on, with no interior in,
Yeah.
and then we
Yeah.
start to fix the floor, fix whatever
Yeah.
needs to be done.
Okay. What I might not know, what some of the viewers that's never been in the Team Beast workshop before. I've been there for the past few months. I would say I've been there for the past few months, and one thing that I can really say about the dynamic of Team Beast, and most people that get it, they understand. Well, I think they understand that if you are working on a project, for example, then nobody hesitates to jump in and help, right?
Yes.
So that's why Uncle Mo said that everybody would everybody that comes to the shop or comes to the workshop is going to have a hand on it.
Oh yes.
So which makes it a little bit, to me, it would make it more special because it's not only one or two people whose brains get and hands touches this car or any project. It's different angles, different views, different minds get put together to get the final product, basically, which is I prefer that way. It's probably just because I'm a family guy, who knows. But
no,
yeah.
no, but you're quite correct because at the end of the day, look, it's a building cars is not about it's not about to get the bragging rights.
Yes.
Like for me personally, building cars is carrying over knowledge.
Yes.
So most of the people that work with me are very young people comparatively. I'm not saying I'm old, but comparatively, they're very young people and very willing people. So even if they don't know what's happening, they're willing to learn.
Yes.
And they have great minds. They got good input. Like I'll say, let's cover this dash in leather, and somebody will say, why don't you cover it in leather in Alcantara? Why don't
Yeah.
you put stitching here?
Yeah.
Things that are, well, those things are in my brain, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, there's certain things we don't think about.
Yeah.
And as a team, and especially as young, enthusiastic guys and girls around me, we women also work. Eh?
Yes.
Girls can fucking work, guys. Girls can work.
True.
But yeah, and then you get different views, and then I have a vision in my head for this car. I have a vision since I got this project, but there's changes will always come. Somebody will always come and tell me, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Why don't you add this little thing? Why don't you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is, it's always just like in a reaching environment.
Yes.
You're making it a perfect environment to grow, for others to grow and for others to learn as well. So
while I'm having fun building a car.
That's the most important thing.
While I'm having fun building a car.
Because I mean, if you go to work with it doesn't matter which job you do. I wouldn't say you have to go to work with a smile every day.
No.
But at least sometimes,
Yeah.
I think you enjoy your work more than any of us probably watch.
Oh no, I love my job.
Exactly.
Fucking give me a grinder, hammer, spanner, spray gun, fucking sewing machine. It doesn't matter. I love it. I love motor cars.
Yeah, I heard from Carlos, the guys at the workshop, that there's two tools that you like the most, or that you love them, and that two tools is a grinder and
a hammer.
And you can never go wrong with it.
No, never. Look, a hammer is not only a tool for braking. Eh? A hammer is a tool for repairing as well. Okay. Like you have to panel beat with a hammer. I can't use a tissue to panel beat.
Yes, no, of course. Otherwise, you're going to spend
and I need the grinder to cut the rust out.
Exactly.
If there's rust, so I love those tools. They work the best.
Yeah.
But I think my most favorite tool is the spray gun.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll talk about the spray when it comes to my car, but we'll not talk about it on here. So I think we covered the basics for the first part of the series.
Yes.
I think they have enough just to get them hooked.
Yes.
They know who you are. They know your name, whatever. So, and what's going to happen to this car. So after this whole interview, we're just gonna show you what it looks like. I think what the car looks like. My grandma had like a, I think it was a Cortina bakkie. So the Cortina bakkie in the same shape that, the shape that this car is in at the moment. I always used to play in the Cortina bakkie.
Yep.
It used to stand there, didn't go anywhere.
Yep.
But it had character basically. So this car has a lot of character, I must say.
And it's got a story behind it.
Yes, that's what makes it interesting.
Yes.
So if you guys are interested in the journey of the Mazda 323 or the Stingray, then please do follow, subscribe, like, whatever you need to do just to get the word out as well to others that might like it. Like I said, we'll probably do quite a lot of this after this. Even the smallest thing, if we see that you guys like what we're doing, then why not?
Of course, yes.
Why not just post something every week? Yeah. So it's probably time to show you what the car looks like inside and outside. I'm gonna do it cinematic and not have the whole vlog thing, because I think that takes quite a lot of time. They will see like as it goes.
Yes.
So thank you for taking the time out.
No problem, dog.
And,
you do your thing and then come sit at the table with me and have a morning drink, and then off to work we go. Cheers.
alive with you. I see something in your eyes, I'm reading your signs. My heart is on fire